Hello and welcome to another FGTN show. It's been a little bit. I'm your host, Alex Tim, and tonight we're diving into hot gear and tech news from Onyx Fish, Flux Marine, some tournament drama with bouncing checks. Believe that. That's crazy. A kid's rod recall, which is good to know if you've got a little kid and you purchased a rod combo in the last couple of years for them. You may need to pay attention because you may be sending that back and getting a different one. Free state parks in Wisconsin coming up here, and some awesome Father's Day deals we'll close out with in terms of letting you know a video is coming up. We're not actually going to talk about the Father's Day deals, but we do have deals that are live right now that we're going to talk about. And if you're live, drop what you're looking forward to most out of those topics down in the chat. And if you're part of the replay squad, go ahead and comment down below as well. All right, let's go ahead and pop up the first news here on what we got going on. So we've got OnX Fish has released a new state. If you were paying attention about a month ago, OnX Fish announced OnX Fish Midwest, and that had Minnesota, Wisconsin, and Michigan, and they've now added North Dakota. This happened about, I want to say, like a week and a half ago. But if you are interested in getting OnX Fish, you've seen all of the really cool stuff in terms of the DNR fisheries survey data, figuring out what lakes, like all of the features that are built into it. You can now access it if you're in North Dakota. It is now out of beta. It's been out of beta ever since they launched Midwest, which means you do have to pay for it. I think they have like a 7-day free trial or something. I don't have a promo code or anything for you. I got to reach out and try to see if I can get one, but all the pros agree. Joel Nelson, Nicole King, Sam Sobey. Love it, love it. But yeah, 7-day free trial. They have an app. It is currently on Apple, and then you can access it on computer as well. I have an Android phone. The way that I go and get it is right on onyxfish.com. And then I just use the web version of it because obviously they don't have an Android app yet. So that is now available. $34.99 a year is the price point. I find it worth it, but I use it quite a bit. So anyways, that is OnX Fish Midwest. Some pretty exciting news there. All right. Another thing on OnX Fish that you may not know, but if you are interested in getting it now because you live in North Dakota or you fish there, they've actually got a promo deal going that I dug around and I found. And that's a free 3-month subscription now available in North Dakota. So this is what it says here. This is from their Facebook page, from North Dakota Game and Fish Department. OnX Fish is here. Using department source data, anglers can find the right lake, filter by species, size, and abundance to plan a day out with the family or fill the live well. If you have a current North Dakota fishing or combination license, check your Game and Fish inbox to redeem a free 3-month subscription to OnX Fish. iOS users, you're good to go. Android users, hang tight. The app is expected this summer. That's good news. That's good news to know that it's coming this summer. But again, you can access it through the browser on your phone. That's what I do. I have a Samsung. That's what I do. And then the web browser version is available to all. So more information, I'll drop, of course, as always, all the links down below as soon as we get done here. So that way you can check it out as well. But another extra little bonus if you are a North Dakota angler. All right, next up, this is a new product that I thought was interesting, and it's actually on Amazon. So I will drop a link to it down below as soon as we get done here. But for those of you that have the LiveScope Plus transducer, the LVS 34, check out this new case. Everybody's got like the different protective cases, whether it's a neoprene sleeve or it's a hard protective case that gets strapped on or clipped on or whatever the dealio is. This one is interesting because you actually screw it on and it stays on. So this is called the travel transducer cover for Garmin LiveScope LVS 34, precision molded from premium ASA, which is it's a plastic essentially, but it's made in a way that it's more UV tolerant is my understanding of it. It's not 3D printed. So yeah, so this is the way that it works. So you've got it's basically a shell. So you've got a left and a right shell. It sandwiches it right around the transducer. As you can see here, let me blow these pictures up and make them a little bit bigger. Um, there you go. You can kind of see. Oh, there we go. If we scroll over, works a little better here. So you've got each side of it, and you can see it's open where the transducer surface is, so that way it can shoot out even with the case on. So now let's go over here. I think they had, yeah, right here. So you can see here, they've got it doesn't block the screen or the transducer surface. So you've got the hard plastic and it extends past the surface, right? So if you were to drop it on the ground or scratch it on the ground, you're not actually hitting that transducer surface, that lens. You're actually just scuffing up this case that it's in, which is pretty awesome. And it shows you the clearances and everything here, which is pretty great. They've also got another couple of views here to show how you just put some screws in here. So anyways, not going to go super deep into it. I haven't tried it. Right now, it's on sale. Normally $24.99. It's on sale down to $18.99. Plus, right now, they've got to apply 10% coupon. So I'll leave a link to this down below if you are interested in trying it out. I'm going to pick one up because it's like, what would that be, like 16 bucks? Why not give it a shot and see how it works? I love the idea of not having to put a case on and off every single time, and it's just protected. So we'll see how it works. I thought it was a pretty cool, unique new idea. All right. Another new product is actually a cooperative deal between AFTCO and OluKai, I think is how you pronounce it. OluKai, I think, is a brand out of Hawaii, and they've came out with the ultimate sport fishing footwear collection. So I'll click over to it here. There's 3 products that they came out with in conjunction with AFTCO. So they've got some shoes. I actually am thinking about picking these up. They are a little pricey, so maybe I'll wait and see if I can get a deal on them. They don't even have my size in stock right now, so I definitely can't even buy them. But what I really liked about these when I was looking at them is they supposedly dry really, really fast. They're intended to be used like on a boat, on a dock, as well as in the water. And they're anti-slip on the bottom. They're non-marring as well. And then, like I had said, they rinse off for clean and then they dry out, I guess, really, really quickly as well. And the extra bonus is they're intended to be used if you want with socks or barefoot. So if you're wanting to go out on the boat and you want to kick your shoes off later in the day, but you want to have shoes on at a certain part of the day, this could be pretty cool. So I'm going to check these out. There's a lot of like deck boots that are out there that I've seen and a lot of these different companies have, but like they're big and bulky. This seems a little bit more up my alley in terms of at least what I'm looking for here. So I figured I'd share with y'all and let you know that these are now available and currently only in size 9 right now. So I don't know if there's other places that you can buy them, but they look pretty cool. And I just realized I wasn't sharing the tab here. So I'll show you here. We've got the shoes on the side, top down view of what they look like, the non-marring soles here. And then you can see on a deck in a boat. You've got the really nice padding. They're breathable for that barefoot comfort. They are an EVA cushioned foam, and then the traction surfaces here. So those are the shoes. They've also got 2 pairs of sandals. This is one pair of the sandals here that you can see. They have the non-slip bottoms as well, and they look pretty cushy too. So they're calling these lightweight and durable. They're saying that they are plant-inspired laser cut upper straps in an embroidered hook logo. They have a hybrid design, merges the comfort of sneakers with the freedom of sandals, making it ideal for everything from pre-work, surf checks, to relaxing in drinks. It looks like there's only a few left in this one as well. So make sure that you take a look at those. This one looks like it's got a few more in stock right now. AFTCO X OluKai Ohana sandals. So this is the 3rd and final product that we're going to talk about from them. So you can see a little bit of a different design here. They've got the blue bottoms that are the anti-slip as well, water resistant straps. So a little bit of a different look and feel in terms of durability as well. So that is one thing that AFTCO is working on now. So in case you're interested, you can pick it up. I'll drop the links down below. All right. Next, I thought this was pretty sweet. There is a company called Supersede. I've never heard of them before. I know nothing about them, but they came across as I was doing some research for the show here, and it's called the Marine Board. So it's essentially, if you're a boat fisherman and you don't have a brand new boat, you likely have a boat that has marine grade plywood underneath that deck surface. Well, as we all know, wood rots eventually, even if it's marine grade, it will go bad. And what they've actually invented here is the Marine Board. It is the next generation solution for marine projects. It's called Supersede Marine Board, a cutting edge waterproof structural alternative to traditional marine plywood, designed with precision and engineered for superior performance. Our Marine Board offers a reliable and eco-conscious choice for marine construction. So it's marine grade, recycled material, structural panel, and 100% waterproof. So if we take a look at it here, they've got 4x8, 4x9, 4x10, and custom lengths and sizes that you can do. They've got all the detail here. I will scroll down because I thought this is where it was kind of the most interesting. Zoom in for you here. So they've got 1/2 inch and 3/4 inch thicknesses, and you can see it's 100% waterproof. It's plastic. They make this out of recycled plastic. So they're taking plastic waste, they're recycling it, and then they're formulating these boards out of it, which I think is pretty cool. They're actually taking waste, making something incredibly beneficial, which is pretty great. So 100% waterproof, zero water absorption means Supersede products are impervious to water, mold, and mildew, ensuring long-lasting performance even in the harshest environments. It is splinter proof. So unlike traditional plywood, because it's not wood, it is a plastic. It's splinter proof, making sure that you have that smooth surface when you're done, and you can kind of see how it is designed there. It's got fastener retention, good quality fastener retention, supposedly, nearly double the fastener retention of wood and exceptionally higher than any non-wood alternative, which is phenomenal for when you're screwing and bolting it down. And then workability, when it comes to cutting, gluing, fastening, or any other process, they design their boards to be a drop-in replacement to wood. So they've got it here. How does it compare to marine plywood, composite lumber? And then they've, of course, got the Marine Board here. I think if I zoom out, they actually had it, I thought. Oh, they don't. I thought they had it lined up. So these check marks lined up with what was above. So they're looking at marine plywood, composite lumber, and then the Marine Board. The Marine Board is their premium product. The USTA board is a lower grade. And we've been talking about the Marine Board. So 100% waterproof. It is UV stable, mold proof, rot proof, termite proof. It's splinter proof, and it is the same weight as wood, which I thought was pretty cool. And then they use recycled feedstocks or recycled plastic. And then in terms of consistency, they have consistently square shaped for seamless integration and precise assembly. So you know what size you're getting. And then they've just got a bunch more detail around it here, but you can kind of see how their proprietary engineered pellets that they use to kind of design these things, one of their machines that they're using to build it as well. So it's a pretty robust facility. I thought this was pretty sweet. They also have a buyback program. So they have an innovative off-cut buyback program, ensuring no material is wasted in the manufacturing process. So they will actually buy back scraps as well, which is pretty cool. I don't know the price of it, but when I was doing a little bit of research, their goal is to offer these at the same price as marine grade plywood. So why would you ever go with marine grade plywood? I have no clue. This stuff's going to last you longer. It weighs the same. It's got better fastener retention, and you're actually taking recycled material out of landfills and using it here, which is pretty great. In addition to, it's going to last you like forever. So pretty cool. figured I'd share a little bit about some of the new technology coming in. And, a lot of people don't like necessarily using plastic in a lot of things, but seeing as this is using recycled, it actually seems like a really good idea. All right. Another new product. We've got a few. We haven't done one of these shows, I think, in was it 3 weeks? So we're getting back on the train here and going to be doing these every week again. So terminal chamber from Sixth Sense. This is nothing fancy. It is a jig box, but they're calling it the terminal chamber. What I like about this is I like that it has the magnetic. I don't have one of these yet. I'm going to pick one up because I saw Shields has these, Amazon has these as well. So I'll drop the links down below in case you want to check them out. They're $20. But I plan on picking at least one of these up. Here's what I like. I like the strong magnetic closure. I like the fully clear plastic lid that's on it, so you can kind of see through it. And I like this foam insert here. It kind of reminds me of like an ice fishing jig case, except the dimensions in it look absolutely perfect for exactly what they advertise it for, which is terminal tackle. And so what you're able to do here is see, you can put your jigs in here, you could put hooks, you could put a bunch of different things in here. But I like the slim size to it. And I think this is going to work really well instead of having to pull out like the big Mambo Jumbo 3700 size cases to get to what you need there. What this really reminded me of is another jig box that I really like, and I'll show you that here. It's actually these groove cases. I don't know if you've ever seen these before. This is called the Big Jig Box from the Groove Company. Let me see if I can blow it up. The thing that I don't care for with these is that they're so tall. They're 2 inches in height, whereas that Sixth Sense one, granted they have foam in it versus this like stick fast rubber stuff that's in here. I really like this stuff, but these are really tall, so it's going to take up double the space. These are 2 inches tall. And then if you go back over here, these are 1 inch tall. So about the same dimensions. These are a little bit smaller in that it's half the height, but it works perfect for if this is what you're putting in here. This works great because you're laying your jigs down in here. Whereas if you look at the groove ones, what you're doing here differently is you can lay them down. But what I do, and a lot of people that I know do they not even have a photo of it? They don't even have a photo of it. Is I stand my jigs up because it's 2 inches tall, so it allows you to get some more space there. They do have a smaller one, but it is the micro box. So yeah, and they're always out of stock on this stuff, so you gotta find other places to buy it. So if you're interested in getting that Sixth Sense tackle box, I will have it linked down below. Now, kind of like on the tech side, if you will, that I thought was pretty interesting is Flux Marine is creating an electric outboard motor. And the idea here is that they're challenging the industry and advancing propulsion innovation because of their outboard electric motor that they have been working on and is coming to the market now. So you can see here in this picture what it looks like on the back of a Highfield. I think this is a Highfield 660. Yep. So this is what it looks like. It actually looks pretty dang slick. It's an electric motor, which I think is great. They said that they've got 50 employees. They've spent 10 years doing research. They claimed a $30 million investment. So they know what they're doing. And this guy that I guess runs the company used to work for like Tesla. He spent time at Tesla in designing electric propulsion systems for the Office of Naval Research before devoting his full attention to the startup. So these things are pretty impressive. I'm kind of like in mixed feelings. I would love to like not have to worry about gas in oil, in like any of that junk, and all of the maintenance and things that you do with the motor. Replacing an impeller every 3 years. I just had to replace an impeller in my 150 horsepower outboard Mercury that I've got on mine right now. Like I like the idea of that, but then there's also the factor of like if you go electric, you either need a lot of batteries or you're kind of limited in terms of your range that you have. So they're getting there. I think this is a great step forward. So what is this motor and how does this motor work and what are kind of the specs on it right now? So they said that they've been testing this motor from 2022 to 2024, continually dialing it in, and it recently just survived a 1,300-hour wide open throttle in a test tank, which is pretty great. No maintenance issues. It comes with a 5-year standard warranty that covers the Flux drive train and the battery pack that powers it. So it does come with the battery pack, which is pretty great. Again, here's a shot of what that Flux motor looks like. All right. The outboard is rated at 100 horsepower for sustained use, so sustained at 100, and it will go for bursts up to 150 peak horsepower. So this is going to be replacing your 100 horsepower, except it can kind of boost up to that 150. Or if you look at it as like it can replace a 150 if you're not usually going wide open throttle, because you're not going to be able to sustain at 150. So that's how powerful this thing is. It weighs about 325 pounds, but wait, it gets heavier than that. So the motor weighs about 325 pounds, and the energy is provided by a modular system comprised of 3 batteries. They're 400 volt, 28 kilowatt hour batteries for a total of 84 kilowatts of storage. That's a lot of power. Each battery weighs 325 pounds. So the entire system weighs around 1,300 pounds between the batteries and the motor. By comparison, it's about 750 pounds for a 150 horsepower internal combustion motor. Plus, you have 37 gallons of gas that fit, at least in the boat that they had tested it in. And then you've also got a starting and a house battery. This motor obviously doesn't need a starting battery because it's using its own battery. The charging port on this motor has a hatch on the cowl, and it accepts level 1, 2, and 3 connection. So when you have it trailered, if you're going places, you can actually even plug it into like an EV charging station if you want to. Otherwise, you can slow charge, kind of trickle charge through the wall as well. So it's got all of that. There was a couple other things. Oh, I thought this was really interesting. So there is it's a let me see. Flux was determined to design a cooling system that does not rely on seawater. So if you have an outboard engine, you know that the way that that works is it has to be in the water while it's running, right? Otherwise, you're going to burn up your impeller and you're going to run into all these issues. It needs to be in the water because it's basically water cooling itself. Well, they were determined when they made this motor to design a cooling system that does not rely on water. And so they created a system that circulates a glycol solution around the motor and the inverter and through passages in the aluminum anti-ventilation plate, which acts as a heat exchanger. This is a completely closed system and does not require maintenance or winterization. So there you go. You can actually run this thing, have it cranked as high as you want, and you don't got to worry about is it sucking enough water in because it's not water cooled. You don't need to maintain it. Like there's no maintenance required on it because you don't have parts burning out because of being worn out. And there's no winterization. So like think about like all those spots where over time it can save you money and hassle, and it just seems uh like I'm excited to see where this stuff goes in the future here. Wait till we get to the price point. That's where it's like, yeah, I'm not ready to buy this yet. There's no need to flush the motor internally after use in salt water, but an exterior wash with fresh water would be advised as with any outboard. All right, so here's one that's a little bit different as well. So this is the prop obviously on it, and then this is like the frame housing here that goes to the prop, and you can see it's fully open in the middle here. That means you're getting more water able to get to that prop, which is a really good thing for propulsion. So what they're calling out here is that another compelling design element of the Flux outboard is its midsection and the lower unit. Because the outboard does not need an exhaust outlet or forward reverse gears, the Flux team was able to reimagine transfer of power from the motor to the propeller. Flux drives the prop with a 4-inch wide synchronous belt. The typical midsection is replaced with a dual strut design that surrounds the belt but is open in the center. Dual strut design that goes around the propeller in order to spin it. And it's just, you've got your rubber belt that's kind of going through there, which is great. This both reduces drag and improves water flow to the propeller. They talk a little bit about its top speed. So on that 21-foot, 10-inch high field 660 Sport, this guy up here on this boat, they got it from 0 to 30 in 8.1 seconds, and it topped out at a speed of 31 miles an hour. Again, this is comparable in my opinion. I'd compare this to 100 horsepower. The boat, I guess, handled really well. Cruising speed at 21 miles per hour. The display indicated a range of 32 miles, which is great, or about 1.5 hours of use, which is fantastic. So most people, I shouldn't say most people. For some people, that's far enough in terms of range for a day before you charge it overnight. And for some people, it's not. So this looks like it is promising, but now let's get to the price. The Flux powered high field 660. Oh, okay. All right. I read this wrong before. So this says the Flux powered high field 660 has an MSRP of 110,000. I thought that was the motor, but I didn't realize that it said it includes the high field 660. So that's this whole boat plus that Flux motor is 110,000. Because I was like, this next part doesn't make any sense. Compared with about 83,000 with 150 horsepower gas outboard. I'm like, I don't know a single 150 horsepower outboard motor that's anywhere near $83,000. They're like $15,000 to $20,000. So it's like, but what we're seeing here is they're basically saying it's about $30,000 more than a gas outboard just to get that electric motor. So that's where we're at. They've got kind of all the data and everything in here. If you want to check it out, I will link it down below. Oh, we got Charles tuning in. What's up, Charles? Nice to see you here. Scratching with Blaine tuning in. 2 members of the channel. Really appreciate you guys tuning in. Yeah, we are a little bit later than our normal. Our new time is going to be Tuesdays, 10 p.m. Central Time. We started a couple hours late tonight because, who needs to sleep? I actually do need to sleep, but I couldn't go another week without doing an FGTN show and hanging out with y'all. So drop down in the comments if you are tuning in live or if you're part of the replay squad. We'll see if I do it this late, how it hinders the video performance, if people will watch it after or not. We'll see. Good test, right? All right. Now to what I would call probably one of the main topics. I had it on, I think, the thumbnail as well. So there was a team, in actual multiple teams. I'm going to play a video for you here in a second, which is good because I need to hydrate. But a team won in a bass tournament. There's a team that won over $1,000 in a bass tournament, and there was another team that won, I think it was $400 in the bass tournament, and their checks bounced. Can you imagine? Let's just picture this for a second. You've got, this picture is great. I used it actually for the thumbnail, in the thumbnail. You've got a field of 40 boats. I'm making it up. 20 boats, 30 boats, 40 boats, 50 boats. You're all out there. Like, these are like, right, 60, 70, 80, $100,000 boats probably, right? At least some of them are. And you're out there. You pay your entry fees. You get to the end. You're the winner. You're holding up your bass. You've won the whole thing, and you get your check. And this isn't a big check. We're talking like $1,000, $2,000, $3,000, $4,000. They write you a check. You go to cash that check, and it bounces. And somebody else cashes their check, and it bounces. Pretty crazy. All right, I'm gonna play a little video here. I think it's like a minute or two long. I'll zoom in so it's full screen for you, and then we'll talk a little bit about it. But this is crazy. All right, you should be able to hear it.
Limestone County-based Professional Fishing League is on the hook for thousands of dollars. Anglers who've won recent tournaments say their checks are bouncing. WAFF 48's Faith Delp talked to one pro fisher and the owner of that fishing league.
Rick Bradley and his team say they are still owed $400 after a fishing tournament held almost a month ago. They say the first prize check they got bounced. And after talking with tournament organizers, they still haven't been paid.
Why offer a prize in money if you're not going to pay it or have return checks to your anglers that actually participate in it? And I've never had this problem with any other tournament across the United States.
Another man who took first place in that same tournament told me he's still waiting for his $1,300 prize. I spoke to the president of the American Bass Angler Company, Morris Sheehan. He pointed the blame at a banking issue. Sheehan says the ABA has 2 separate bank accounts at 2 separate banks. One for business costs and one specifically for tournament payouts. He told me that all of a sudden it takes 10 days to transfer funds from the business account to the tournament account. Bradley says $400 isn't the end of the world, but this is the only time he has ever had this problem with any tournament before.
Never reached out to me after that return check. I actually reached out to them. I still haven't received anything around fixing the return check or my prize winnings from the tournament the end of April.
After I spoke to Sheehan about the issues competitors were having, Bradley called me with an update that the American Bass Anglers had called him to confirm his address to make sure the check was going to the right place. Reporting in Athens, Faith Delp 48 News on your side.
Yes. How crazy is that? Like, this tournament, I don't know anything about this specific tournament, the American Bass. Let's go back here. The American Bass Anglers event. Like, I don't know how big of an organization they are, but like, if you are taking in the money, you need to be prepared to pay it out. Like, I don't know if she said it in there or if I'm remembering something that I had read about it, but basically they were saying that they we're waiting on the city to give them some money as well, in order to do the payouts. Like, look, if you're taking all of the money from the event as entry fees, have that money ready to go for your payouts. Like, if you're going to put it in your business bank account, why do you have another bank account in a completely different bank and you're not prepared before the event even starts to make sure that you have the money there? It's absolutely crazy. And then having to track people down is pretty crazy. It says the military team bass tournament that Bradley and others competed in was held on West Point Lake in LaGrange, Georgia, from April 30th to May 2nd. Johnson claimed in the video that according to the anglers who fished that tournament and have since contacted him, there was around $8,000 paid to the ABA for that event. $8,800 paid to the ABA, mostly through entry fees. So they had to pay out about $4,000, but they were paid in $8,800. Like, there's no reason for that to happen. Could you imagine, like, if like the MLF or Bass just like started bouncing their checks? That would be crazy. But anyways, I think this is pretty insane. Sounds like they're making it right, but yeah. Scratching with Blaine saying he just doesn't sleep. You need to sleep at some time. Otherwise, you're going to be tired to try to catch them fish later. All right. Recall alert here. So if you have ever heard of, there's an organization called Kidcasters. They make a ton of little kid stuff. Let me see if I can pull this up. I'll show you an example of what I'm talking about here. You've probably seen these in stores, right? Like all these like rods and reels for youth, right? They've got combo kits. They've got youth fishing jerseys, nets, and all this type of stuff. Well, these youth fishing, I think it's the combos, the tangle-free fishing combos. If you purchased one of these in the past couple of years, so they were manufactured between 2021 and March 2023. Who knows when they were sold? There's still maybe some sitting in stores being sold. So if you purchased any of these tangle-free practice fishing rod and reel combos manufactured under the Kidcasters brand, there is a safety recall open. Evidently, the lures that they put in with these have lead in the lures, which according to the Health Canada and the U.S. Consumer Product Safety Commission, that lead is very dangerous to kids if they ingest it or put it in their mouth. And so, and especially because Health Canada, they have a violation because there is a federal lead content ban as well. And so Little Anglers has voluntarily initiated a safety recall of select children's fishing rods in cooperation. So what you need to know is that they were manufactured between 2021 and March 2023. They were sold at various retailers and online at Amazon and Little Anglers or Lil Anglers. The recall affects approximately 80,000 units. Who knew that they sold this many of these things? Including units sold in both the US and in Canada. Please immediately stop using the affected products and contact Lil Anglers to arrange for a replacement or a refund. And then they have on here the different model numbers and the lot codes and where you can find them on the bottom of the rod near the handle. And here's some of the pictures of what these look like. This is interesting. How did this occur? Lead can be a natural part of the mining process. We require testing to ensure it qualifies for children's products. There was a lapse in the process, and we are taking responsibility. We are adjusting our process to prevent it from happening again. So they supposedly have fixed it in the newer units that are being produced. But yeah, if you would like to check your kid's little thing or a niece or a nephew that maybe you bought one for, go check it out. That is a recall that is going on right now. I'll leave a link to the recall page down below as well. All right, some news here from Minnesota Department of Natural Resources. I know not everybody here lives in Minnesota, but if you do live in Minnesota, they are currently seeking, the DNR is seeking applicants for Lake Winnipesaukee and Rainy Lake input groups. So they are looking for local fishing guides, local anglers, anglers from across Minnesota, local businesses and local resorts, and water-based businesses to serve on 2 fisheries input groups, one for each of those lakes. The groups work closely with the DNR to provide input on fisheries management activities on these lakes, including any activities that are authorized, licensed, permitted, or otherwise regulated or managed by the state. You can apply online through June 24th to serve on the fisheries input groups for those 2 lakes. And so if you want to have any input into some of the rules changes that they're maybe already working on, are contemplating, or will be working on, and kind of be a part of helping determine what the DNR is going to do on those bodies of water in your local, this could be a great opportunity for you. I know not everybody sees these here in Minnesota, and so it's good to call them out. And of course, I live in Minnesota, so I do catch them too. All right. If you are in Wisconsin, so see, this isn't just about Minnesotans. If you are in Wisconsin, there are free state park passes the weekend of June 7th. So from June 7th to the 8th, which is this upcoming weekend, as of the live stream that we're on right now, Wisconsinites can enjoy state parks free those 2 days. Wisconsin Department of Natural Resources announced it will host its 13th annual free fun weekend for the first full weekend in June. Here's what you need to know. It's June 7th and 8th. I've now said it 3 times. Visitors can enjoy state parks for free during the weekend. You do not need to pay to get into the state park. Fishing licenses and trail passes are also waived. So that's why we're talking about it. If you go into one of these state parks, you can also fish for free. You don't need to buy a fishing license. The 2025 free weekend comes amid the 125th anniversary of the Wisconsin State Park System. So that's pretty exciting. They have 50 state parks, 44 state trails, and 15 state forests and other natural landmarks across Wisconsin. So spread the word or swing on over to Wisconsin. It says Wisconsinites, so I thought maybe it was like you have to be a resident of Wisconsin, but maybe you don't need to. I guess they probably wouldn't like ID you to see. Oh, what does it say here? The DNR reminded visitors that vehicle admission stickers are not required and that residents and non-residents are not required to have a fishing license during the free weekend. You can find out more about visiting the Wisconsin DNR website. So there you go. That answers the question. Even non-residents can swing on over if you wanted to check out one of those state park lakes. Again, like this is not saying you can fish anywhere in the state. for free. It's talking about in the state parks. All right, now let's get to some of these deals. I've got a few of them for you, not a ton. We'll do more coming up here because Father's Day is coming up. I'm gonna be doing. We'll talk about it in a bit here, but I'll be doing a video on it. So, Blackfish has some deals going right now. They're saying it's because of Father's Day, but they are live right now. So they've got a few different things. I'm a huge fan. Like this last winter, I really kind of started getting into the Blackfish stuff, and I am actually pretty excited about some of the stuff that they've got. So they've got waterproof socks. Not my cup of tea, but if you're interested, they're from $30 down to $10 on sale right now. They've got the waterproof beanie from 30 down to 10. They've got UPF sun hoodies, half off from 50 down to 25. Looks like in gray and in orange. A Zephyr rain pant, 280 down to 112. I've heard good things about those rain pants. The rain pullover from 320 down to 128. The Swift UPF Sun Gator from $20 down to $5. So they got a few things going on here. Can we load more? We can load more. Sun hoodies, long sleeves. Here's the ankle boots. The Stormskin Gale jacket. These are nice jackets. They're currently from 190 down to 115. So I'm not going to read them all to you. The cast fishing short. Maybe I'll have to pick up a pair of these. They're only 20 bucks, down from 60. I haven't tried their shorts yet, but they got a lot of things on sale right now. So go check them out. They've even got gloves, Guard UPF sun gloves, which is pretty awesome. So yeah, go check that out. They've got some deals going on right now at Blackfish. I will drop the link down below after the stream is over so you can get to it. Trika is still running 15% off all rods, which is pretty great if you're looking to pick up a rod. This is all rods. So this is open water rods and ice fishing rods, 15% off. I'll leave a link down to their website so you can go ahead and check that out. And then Northland Fishing Tackle has some deals going right now. So they've got the Mille Lacs open water kit, 38-piece kit, $114 value, now $100. So you can see this kind of an idea of the assortment that you're going to get here. So you're going to get some jigs. These are some of my favorite jigs, like that I use, that I paid full price for. And then they've got some different plastics that they've got here. They've also got the pan candy kits and bundles. So if you are interested in that, they got some deals, I believe, going on those right now as well. Free shipping over 50 bucks. And they've got some brand new kits going on right now. Gumball jig sale, 40% off, 12 and 15 packs. And that looks like what they got going on right now. So Northland Fishing Tackle has some deals going right now. Now, something to look forward to is coming soon, hopefully later this week. I will be putting out a Father's Day fishing gift guide coming soon. So if you are a father and you get to buy for yourself, if you have a father and they like fishing and you're going to get them some fishing stuff, or you're thinking about it, or you got a significant, or you're a father and you've got a significant other that, or a kids that need ideas for you, I'll be putting out a video, kind of going through some top ideas for fishermen, coming up this Father's Day. And I'm going to be specifically looking for things that I just absolutely love and they're a pretty dang good deal, or things that are on sale for Father's Day coming up. So look for that video hitting the channel very, very soon. And that's what we got. So if you ever have any questions, there's a link down below in the description, and I'm starting to put it as a pinned comment in a lot of videos as well. Moving forward here, it's called Ask a Question. Click on the link, fill out the form, and we will go through and kind of start up the question and answer, try to do 2 to 3 questions at the end of every one of these live FGTN shows to answer y'all's questions. I didn't get them in for tonight, but I know I've got a few in there. Maybe we'll pop them in for next week. So FGTN show, again, Tuesday nights, 10 p.m. Central, give or take. Sometimes we'll be a little early. Sometimes we'll be a little late. That's the nature of the world we all live in. But I will try my hardest to get back to doing this weekly, which I absolutely love, hanging out with all of you and getting through all of this stuff. It's really exciting stuff. So drop down in the comments if there's any videos that you want to see coming up here. I really appreciate each and every one of you and all the members that are with as late as it is right now, even hopping on the live stream. So thank you so much. Have a great rest of your week. Tight lines, and talk to you soon.